All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the pod.
We have a very special guest.
We do. Who do we got?
Do you have an intro?
We have, back by popular demand, a crowd favorite.
Yes.
Mr. Andrew Pfaff, my father.
Thank you.
People loved the voice.
It's an honor.
Yep, that's that.
I wish I had his voice.
The broadcast voice, and then the just the takes.
Yeah, the
people
takes are
loved your takes. So we always talk a lot too. Like one of the criticisms, which is kind of a joke at this point, but is that we're so in a bubble.
I'm not. My brother is. He's a liberal elite.
No, you're just he's a liberal elite, but you're in a different bubble.
I'm with America. I'm with the majority.
No, you're like, we hear you on the pod. You're like, I just got back from Italy for Paris Fashion Week.
Exactly.
By the way, you know where I'm going tomorrow? Fucking Arkansas.
Well,
That's middle America.
You should get out and talk to some people.
Yeah, I will.
You were in Detroit on election day.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but anyway, a lot of our perspectives are from our bubble.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times we talk about reaching out to my mom and dad to just hear what it feels like in Ohio.
Yeah.
But now he's here. So you guys can ask, we can all ask anything under the sun. But before we do that, do we want to?
Yeah, we should talk about
catch up a little.
Yeah. I mean, I got back from New York Friday. As soon as I landed, came to the office, and then I had to go home. And then we had one of my kids' school event was at like a family's home.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, damn, I'm not going to get to watch the fight.
The Jake Paul fight?
Yeah. And
which is right up your alley. Like how about the fight last night? Not on your radar?
It was on my radar afterwards.
Because the
I
Avengers.
did not know there was a UFC fight till after it ended.
It was on your radar because the Avengers were there.
Not only the Avengers, but like I'm a Jake Paul guy. Like he's one of the greatest athletes of our time.
That's kind of what I was trying to.
Yeah.
You watch the Rock movies and Jake Paul fighting.
I mean, I don't care what anyone says. He's the most electric athlete of our time.
Oh God!
And I'm gonna tell you
maybe
why.
You're not in a bubble. Your takes are like you live in Arkansas.
Yeah. And by the way, the numbers, as always, I'm with the majority of the world. So
you're right about that.
I was at this school event and I casually asked, there was a TV in the living room. I was like, oh, you gonna watch the fight?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I don't think so. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I didn't say anything. Then like 10 other people asked.
Yeah.
So they turned it on.
Which that alone is pretty crazy.
And you're talking about a school in LA's parents asking to watch a fight.
Right. So I will tell you that I've never, male and female, everyone texted me, where are you watching the fight?
That's so crazy.
The greatest athlete of our time.
Jake Paul and Tyson.
Jake Paul.
No, but my point is they wanted to watch it.
I know.
Yeah, because it was Jake Paul.
This idiot. Gosh,
it's Jake Paul. And so I know you're like a boxing purist. And
I'm not.
He's a Rogan guy. He's a Rogan guy.
You are.
Anand's with me.
Yeah.
Anand texts me like, hey, who's fighting? Oh, yeah. Israel Adesanya.
Yeah. Israel, Palestine. Yeah, whatever. This fight, everyone
terrible.
finally kept asking. Finally, it turned on. And I thought it was going to be like 6 guys on the couch. Because interesting enough, I'm not even joking. 2 weeks earlier, I was at another school event.
Yeah.
It was the World Series.
Yeah. 6 guys?
10 people.
Okay.
This event, everyone except for my wife and her 2 friends were watching the fight. So and it was 100 people.
Can I tell you?
Shout out to Haley for keeping it real.
Am I allowed to say this, bird treats?
You can say the word.
You can edit if you want to.
Yeah.
The game room was slammed.
Yeah.
The 3rd floor was slammed.
Watching?
Yeah. Everyone wanted to watch it.
But wasn't everyone sad afterwards?
What were they saying? I was very entertained.
Because we just watched an old man get punched in the face.
No, I think like boxing purists were sad.
Right. So you're saying,
I don't think if like the casual fan, like
I was happy that they both got paid. It was very entertaining.
It's 40-20, right?
You didn't, the crew at the house didn't.
Yeah, there was like the commentary around, oh, look at them, look old or whatever. Like people were like,
but not a big deal.
Pity, like for whatever. I was like, oh, this was a waste of time. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I bet you more people watch this in the Super Bowl.
Well, the numbers are just under the Super Bowl. It's 60 million.
But that's in
Years.
America.
Yeah.
I heard the number I heard globally was 300 million. There were put it like this. 6.4 million people were watching it on Antonio Brown's TikTok stream live.
Really?
6.4 million people.
So it's probably a billion.
Yes.
So the whole world, the one thing that can bring the
people
globe,
on Earth were watching this fight.
the one thing that can bring the world together is not an alien invasion. It turns out it's Jake Paul.
I think like the fact that he only made $40 million is insulting. I'm disgusted he only made $40 million.
Yeah.
But what about Mike? Mike made less.
He made 20.
Yeah, but
in my opinion, and we could debate this for a while, I think all those people tuned in because of Mike Tyson.
I think, it was the fact that he was fighting Mike Tyson. But
like
it
Mike
was
Tyson
a
could have
circus.
fought, like he could have been like, hey, today I'm fighting an adolescent cheetah.
So the memes after the fight were the funniest. He's fighting Jimmy Carter next.
Right.
So you
Joe
as
Biden.
the boxer,
Yeah.
what I saw on Twitter was basically that he was carrying him for the fight to make it go longer.
How many people actually care about boxing? Maybe 30,000 people.
Yeah.
Oh, at best.
At best, right? 30,000 people around the world care about boxing.
I want your
My
opinion.
honest opinion is, if I had to bet, because there's a lot of potential, my honest opinion is I think Jake Paul saw that he was safe. He could play it safe. There's still a risk that he could get hurt, but he knows Mike's not going to like come after him. So he doesn't have to fight. So he saw a route where he could fight, keep his distance, not put himself in danger, and still make his money, and everyone could go home with no concussions and entertained. And that's what I think. I think it's too risky to jump in and try to knock him out. And I think that if you see that you don't, like if an opponent is really good and he sees that you're not going to knock him out, he's going to try to knock you out. But once you see that that's not really a threat with Mike Tyson, why not stay safe and just, pick your shots?
I think
that's what I think. Because I think that there's nothing more that Jake would have liked than to have the clip of knocking out Mike Tyson.
I actually don't think that, because so the other hot take I heard was like, Jake Paul, obviously, I'm sure idolizes Mike Tyson.
Right.
Probably met him and was like,
friends.
I could throw this guy a bone.
Right.
I can make my idol $20 million.
Right.
I can go make 40, 50, whatever. I don't care what anyone thinks. He doesn't care what anyone thinks ever.
Right. But yeah, I just.
And by the way, I've been to the stadium, the Dallas Cowboys Stadium.
Yeah.
He's sold out.
Yeah. With Jerry Jones there commentating.
Yes. And you had that whole element to it. And then.
Yeah, you might be right. I'm not confident in my opinion.
Okay.
But because also I heard, and I'm not from any reputable source, that just it was in the agreement, like we're not knocking each other out.
Yeah.
Which it very well could have been.
Yeah, why not?
Because they also, one of the key things is there was 2-minute rounds, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Normally they're 3.
Yeah.
They had 14-ounce gloves, which is crazy. Normally you have 8.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of things that were in place. So why wouldn't you also add, and you can't knock him out?
Because, yeah, and I agree.
Which
and I
they
think,
might have. And,
I think it was brilliant by Netflix.
Right.
It's brilliant by them. We all watched. And by the way, if he fights his brother in 6 months, it may be double the amount of people that watch. What, are you going to not watch it? Logan Paul versus Mike Tyson.
telling you, I guess you couldn't do it now because he's too old, but Netflix could have done a $300 million deal with Mike Tyson. It's called Mike Tyson Fights.
And fights.
And just, it's like, here's 7 midgets. Here's 3 female boxers. Here's a small gorilla. Here's Jake Paul.
Yeah.
And because I think that because look, Jake versus Tommy Fury would not have sold out Cowboy Stadium.
No.
Jake versus the last guy he fought was Mike Perry. No one watched. But the way they market it,
Yeah, Mark is brilliant.
it's so good.
And
I'll tell you this.
he's going after Connor, right? It's
Jake
on
Paul,
tweet.
yeah.
And Canelo, and he's out of his mind.
So,
but he can't really be mad at.
I'll put it like this. On Friday, I got home and we had to head to the school thing. And so my mom was watching the kids. And Dominic goes, "Are we watching the fight?" I'm like, "What fight?" It's like Jake Paul, Mike Tyson.
Oh my god.
I'm like, "How do you even know what that is?" He's like, "Oh, everyone at school's talking about it."
Oh my gosh. That's the thing is everyone from Dom's age
7
that
years
knows
old.
Jake Paul.
Yeah.
And then Mike Tyson's fans go all the way up till 80.
Yeah. They had the whole world.
Yeah. What else has the whole world? But also, I do got to say, not to take anything away from the spectacle that this was and the brilliant marketing, but live events on Netflix is pretty.
Yeah.
I will tell you though, I mean, firsthand, the live event at Bird Streets was insanity in the game room.
Like people screaming, going nuts.
I had to leave. I went to the third floor. There's no space. They all want to see Jake.
You're talking about this is the elite
Crazy.
of the elite of LA. And they wanted to watch Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. I'm telling you, it is the biggest sporting event in our life.
He did, and what I have to tell you guys, and I don't care that I am going to sound like a super hater. That's not my point.
Yeah.
My point is, Tommy Fury, who beat Jake Paul, is a very, very bad pro boxer.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about him. Nobody. If he wasn't Tyson Fury's brother, he would be unheard of. So my point is, now this is where I'm giving Jake credit, is this guy got just good enough to have the biggest boxing event in all of history.
Of all this.
And he's not even, he says at the thing, like, I'm going to be world champion. I'm going to fight Canelo. No, he is not.
Yeah.
Not even close.
I mean,
He could fight Canelo in 10 years.
He could, but he got good enough to fight like, oh, you know what? You're just good enough to beat 60-year-old Mike Tyson. And it works.
I'm down with the Ohio boys.
MGM
Right.
had tweeted that this was going to be the highest bet boxing match in the history of boxing.
Yeah, of course.
So I have to believe now that Jake Paul is like the number one name in sports.
Yeah.
He is.
Because when it comes to the amount of money, like whoever has the next deal for the fight, the amount that he affects in betting markets, the amount and it's one guy.
So if I were to guess in America right now, it's Jake Paul 1, Patrick Mahomes 2,
Kelsey, because of Swift.
Yeah, but like actual just sports, like, like money.
Right.
It's Steph Curry and
then
LeBron.
LeBron, those are next. And then maybe Shohei. But I don't
think so.
If Shohei showed up on Netflix, I'm not fucking watching.
No.
Yeah.
I would watch if Ipe showed up.
Yeah. We'd love to see Ipe's story.
Who's Ipe?
The guy that took the rap, who took the fall for the gambling.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Jake Paul should fight him. He's just
Okay, so then you know what they should do, since they can't do it with Mike Tyson? They should do a deal that's just, we'll sign you for 10 fights.
Yeah.
You fight whatever you want.
If Jake Paul got $40 million, he might be the most underpaid person in America.
Absolutely. Think of the cost of the Super Bowl.
Yes.
That event, I mean,
it looked bullshit. The after party that he posted,
I didn't see it.
It's bullshit. It looked like he was drinking a red cup.
Right.
You know what's crazy? It's like the number of people that texted me all day.
Right.
Where are you watching it?
Yeah.
And what did that cost as compared to, and a Super Bowl, technically you need the whole season to lead to this moment. This you need a little 5-part series in Puerto Rico. And all of a sudden.
At least it's tax free for him.
Yeah, that's true. He made 80 million.
Yeah, 80 million.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm happy. And I think Netflix won huge.
In Netflix, they all won huge, to be honest. I mean, even Mike, he didn't get hurt.
Yeah.
He got, I would say, look, he kind of said this in that little documentary, like if you're Mike Tyson, it is really hard to get old and not be Mike Tyson anymore. He got the glory.
Oh, I didn't see that. That's what he said.
Yeah. He said that, he said like, 'cause it was him in a car in like an Uber and getting yelled at by everyone on the street. Mike. And he's like, I said to my wife, this is so annoying. And my wife said back to me, the day you walk outside and no one knows who you are, no one yells at you, you'll die. And he's like, you're right. And so, I just think it's hard.
Yeah.
And so to now have a mini documentary on Netflix, have the biggest fight of all time.
You're good for the next 30 years.
Right. Which is the rest of your life.
Like when my kids are older, they're going to be like, oh, Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Wait, did Dom watch it?
No, I didn't let him watch it. Luckily, there was like a Laker game on.
Okay.
The Spurs, tournament.
Wemby.
So they watched that, but he kept asking, he's like, I want to watch the fight. And I was like, I can't watch this.
I mean, everybody won.
Yeah.
Except for, everyone won.
So there was another fight on Saturday, which I had no idea about.
And I went and watched it.
That's the real fight.
So it's like,
Did you watch it?
That's the blood and guts. On Saturday?
John Jones?
Of course.
So
Yeah.
I only
went
know
to
about the
I
fight.
was hanging out with my dad and I had to take off.
I only know about the fight because of this. The dance. That's the only reason why I knew the fight even happened.
So
John Jones,
yeah.
which I don't even know who the fuck that is.
So
to be honest.
He's the greatest,
he is
right?
Arguably.
Is he the GOAT?
He's arguably the GOAT. Like he's I mean,
he looks old.
Who he is. He's 39 or something.
Yeah.
Who is the like undeniable greatest athlete in some sport of all time?
LeBron.
Tom Brady in football.
LeBron's 40.
Yeah, but people argue Jordan, right?
Yeah,
Tom
for
Brady.
sure.
Tom
That's
Brady.
it.
He's Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
He's Tom Brady. He's Tom Brady of MMA.
Okay.
So yeah, he
he does like a roundhouse kick and does
Yeah.
the dance. It's
Yeah.
the greatest.
So for the listener, if you didn't watch, he came back and fought. He hasn't fought very much in the last handful
He's
of years.
retired or whatever.
Kinda like he's a really elusive guy, you know, like he
He's
kind of
just whatever. He doesn't give a shit.
right. And he knocked out with a spinning kick his opponent, and then he ran over to Trump, who was cage side, and did the Donald Trump dance and pointed at him and thumbs up. And then the thing that I love the most is the fact that Trump and the posse, the Avengers, all roll around together.
Yes.
So in the audience, it's Vivek and Tulsi Gabbard and Elon
RFK,
Musk and
Elon.
RFK and whoever else.
Was Elon there?
Yeah.
Yes.
What are you talking about? Elon was
Right
next
beside.
to him the whole
Okay.
time.
Yes, and
I
so
know they were on the PJ.
No. They were literally sitting
and
together.
Don Jr. and
Yeah.
it's like the whole squad.
You know, that is what we call unity in America.
Right, it's fine. Good. We finally have some of that. You know.
It was
You guys are basking in your glory.
Yeah, we are.
Oh,
You
we're
got
gonna-
4 years of this crap.
12.
Right,
We might
JD.
have 12.
You're betting on JD.
Yeah, I'm all in on JD.
OH.
What was interesting was
You know what my mom said? She goes, it's actually kind of morbid. She was like, I'm so happy I don't have to live for 12 years of this.
Oh my gosh.
you
Stick
know how many
around,
Indians are
Mom.
about to be in the White House.
Is that why your mom was mad at me? Why was your mom mad at me?
For a lot of reasons.
Was this a lot of it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
There's more South Indians in the White House than there've ever been.
True. Diversity and unity.
There's gonna be dosas and idlis up in that bitch.
Oh man. I mean, it's just the fact that like, because you know what else I think is like people's cabinets you've never really known before unless you were super into politics.
Yeah, well,
But
because everyone's clowning on Trump's cabinet, right?
Right.
They're like, oh, is this guy, and then you see who Biden picked for the equivalent, and it's like a man wearing a dress, and I'm
Right.
like, yeah, you know what? It's
Right.
not that bad.
Or it's like I think there was one that was like it was a super kind of out of shape person that was our Secretary
our
of Health or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's RFK doing like push-ups
Yeah.
at Gold's Gym or whatever.
All right, Mr. Pfaff, we need to know.
Let her rip.
Yeah, let's go.
Go
So
ahead.
You're
Drama's,
in the hot seat.
Drama's dad is here in town
Yeah,
from
And-
the heart, the heart of America.
Yeah.
So
And JD Vance is, far away, but same state.
when did you know Trump was going to win?
This is D journalism.
2-3 weeks before the election.
2-3 weeks before the election.
I mean, from not what I was saying in Ohio. I mean, I had no doubts that Ohio was voting for Trump. But
yeah. What were
For
the
the record,
signals?
for the listener, I want to say one thing.
I actually want to rewind. Drama, can you give like kind of a background on Mr. Pfaff?
This is Mr. Pfaff.
So that people can understand how his perspective is coming from.
Right. Well, and Dad, you can add anything for yourself here, but this is my father. He's a great
American.
hardworking American patriot, and he lives in Akron, Ohio. I'll be honest, and Dad, you do not have to even make a facial expression. I don't know who my dad voted for. I've never asked, but I have a suspicion it was Kamala.
that's a good suspicion.
There you go. So
Wow.
just so that everyone knows, I do want to I think what's fair here is to set the table and say that we are not speaking to like a diehard Trumper, but him and my mom are very involved in the community. They have a very good gauge of what's going on in this crazy world of politics. And last night we were talking for a while and some of my family members are like, need to be put on suicide watch because they're so scared.
Of what?
Of Trump's Hitler dictatorship that's definitely coming.
Oh, the emperorship.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
But
some.
are they? But what?
So now ask anything. Was that good?
That's
Yes, great. So is that? I'm curious on that. So are these people in the state of Ohio or in a different state?
Oh, no. State of Ohio.
State of Ohio. What would give them that vibe? Because I understand-
News.
What?
They called him Hitler for the last 6 months.
Kamala never did, right? So
Doesn't matter. The MSM is
that's
her in
fair.
the pocket.
I'll
She
give you
never
that.
did.
That's fair.
Whatever.
But I'm talking about the
Her
media
people.
here. I'm not talking about Kamala. I'm talking about the
Her
media.
people.
But they said Hitler rally at the blah, blah, blah. But you don't say the name, but what were some of the things that you heard from people that are scared?
Well, I think they just bought into the whole, to me, the Democratic spin has been not so much what they're going to do for the people, but Trump is evil.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just my perspective. Doesn't mean that was everybody else's. And this particular family member is very diehard Democratic.
Yeah.
So everything Democratic is good. Everything Republican is bad. It's real easy to believe. No matter, I talked to this person about the JD Vance thing on podcast, Joe Rogan's podcast. You should listen. Oh, I don't want to listen to it because he's terrible. But I go,
give him a chance.
I said, yeah. And that's what I wanted this person to do. I said, get your opinions from, and I'm not saying you're going to like that person, or I'm not going to say you're going to, but I said, get it from the horse's mouth, if you will. Well, I don't have to. And then I mentioned something about Elon Musk. Oh, Elon, he's just such a worthless individual and blah, blah, blah. I go, well, he's a pretty successful, worthless individual that has been able to single-handedly accomplish things our government has not been able to accomplish in 15 or 20 years.
Yeah.
And I said, so he's doing something right. And
so let me ask you a question. Why do you think let's assume you lean left. What gave you the viewpoint of having a more neutral perspective where you can be okay, I may not agree with everything that comes out of Elon Musk's mouth, but I would listen to him. Or I don't agree with JD Vance, but I would listen to him. What do you think that gives that, that perspective versus most people who are liberal or Democrats? They can't even listen to anyone. If I brought up Joe Rogan to certain
that's
groups of people,
because I'm liberal and I listen to Rogan.
Okay, whatever. It's not about you. It's not about you. Joe Rogan in America is MAGA. Just so you know, he is now officially.
Officially,
he is
that way in the last month.
Yeah, but I'm saying I'm liberal.
I'm not talking about you.
He's not saying all liberals.
I'm not talking about you.
He's saying there's a large group.
There's a large group of people where in LA. I want you to post Joe Rogan clips on your Instagram stories for the next 3 months. See what happens. I would love to. Post it and see what happens. And you'll see people will think you're MAGA. And I'm just curious how you got to that comfort level of having a more open-minded view.
I'm not sure why, but and maybe wrongfully so, but I've always voted for the person running for different things as opposed to the party. Correct. That may be a mistake because because they don't now especially cooperate with one another, where back in the day they really used to. I mean, they put their parties aside and kind of seemed to work for the people. At least that was the spin at the time. Why I was that way, I don't know, but I always thought it was better to go to the source as opposed to what you hear. And have zero confidence in newscasting anymore because it's more opinion with a little bit of news in it.
So I have a question there.
Yeah.
So you come home, work, whatever, it's 6 p.m.
Yeah.
And the TV's on. The news is not on?
Oh, it is.
It is on.
But I'll be listening to local news for what's happening.
Okay.
As far as national news of events, plane tragedy, earthquake, politics, no, not often at all.
So your news is focused around local.
Yes.
Unless it's something happened.
But not political news, just local current events, things that are happening in my community or my state.
And what gave you, gave it away that Trump was going to win, even in just Ohio? What was it? Because if you talked to him 3 weeks ago, he would tell you Ohio was going to be blue.
No, I said Ohio's red.
No, but you said she was going to win.
Yes.
She had to win those states. Ohio, Pennsylvania.
Michigan, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
I think, first of all, Chris and I talked a little bit. You knew nothing about Kamala until all of a sudden she was the presidential candidate.
Yeah.
So you had no resources to look into where, I mean, you had Trump's prior presidency, and as chaotic as some people may think that was, and believe me, I think you and I had a brief discussion about it'd be nice if we had a president we could be proud of on the international stage, and Trump was not that guy. And I would agree. But at least you knew he was, you knew where he was coming from.
You were getting.
Yeah, exactly. Where you didn't know with Kamala.
Did you feel though, real quick, sorry, just to tag onto that. Did you feel like the energy of like, oh, everyone's voting for Trump in Ohio? Like, is that what it felt like?
Like when you went to like lunch.
I don't want to say I necessarily felt the energy because, to be honest with you, since his last presidency, people kept it close to their chest what they were going to do. They didn't talk a whole lot about
Biden or Trump.
Trump.
Okay.
Yeah.
My question really is, because I know a lot of the people in our circles, why they voted for Trump, and it's primarily financial reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's going to lower taxes. He's going to, deregulate stuff. When you go to the heartland, what's their motivation?
Can I tell you? This is my opinion. You tell me.
No, I asked him, not you.
But I want to give you why I think.
Okay.
I saw the one commercial when I knew it was over.
Right.
They are She's working for they or them. I'm working for you.
Was it the Charlemagne DJ Envy commercial?
Yeah.
They crushed it with that.
So hold on. Let's table that. And I'd love to hear Mr. Pfaff's responses.
I don't think the vibe was that I was picking up is that the past 4 years, people felt a disconnect, like the government wasn't there for them. They were kind of doing their thing. I'm not saying that's how it was. I'm just saying that was kind of the vibe, and that they just felt that they wanted some kind of change.
Yep.
And so kind of no matter what that change was,
we're okay with
that was going to be the direction they were. And I think leading up to that, they survived the previous 4 years with Trump. So they knew, despite what they heard on the news, themselves individually, well, that 4 years wasn't so bad for me.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not really happy with how the way the things are now. So I don't think it's so much that Trump won as opposed to the Democratic Party lost.
Yeah.
They missed an opportunity. They were disconnected from their country.
Yeah.
And
they're worried about they, them.
No,
they're worried about Beyonce.
No, yeah. So I have a actually very direct connection to this. So Seth Moulton, he's a congressman out of Massachusetts.
Okay. What party?
Democratic.
Okay.
He went to Harvard Business School with Derry.
Okay.
And he came out against kind of the trans being in sports, and he got railroaded.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Completely.
That's the wild thing.
That's a weird
and he's
thing
a Democratic. He's a Democratic guy.
On. Like, there's so many issues in America that I would die on the hill on. Like, so many. That one.
But my point is, I chatted with them, and he was just like, yeah, they're literally crushing him because he took that stance.
Right. But think about it. That was how it was with Russia.
They want their daughters to just get their asses beat in basketball, like get dunked on.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you really clearly, like my daughter is very unathletic.
So you're cool with the males in this sport.
She's getting crushed.
Yeah. When she's playing soccer and she just gets fucking 17. Oh, she lost 73-0 at AYS.
No, I don't believe in that. But my point is, this is a Democratic congressman that's getting railroaded because he came out saying,
by his own party.
By his own party.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you look at the picture of Saturday night. It was Tulsi Gabbard, RFK, Elon, Donald Trump, who are all historically Democrats. And Joe Rogan was in the picture too. And you look at like everyone's talking to them, the Red Avengers. You had them on your team. It's like, to me, when I saw that picture, I thought about OKC. Oklahoma City Thunder had Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden.
Yeah.
And those idiots traded away their entire team because they didn't know how to manage a team. You had these people and you thought you were bigger than them.
But think about this. The new topic that's been in the news all week is, does the left need a Joe Rogan? And nobody will address the left had a Joe Rogan.
They had the left.
They literally, he was so outspokenly left.
Yeah.
He had Bernie on a long time ago.
The problem is he was a Bernie bro, which the left didn't want to.
But think about, like, I just am so curious how the left works. Like, when I mean the left, what I mean here is probably like the 15 people, a couple of which we know.
You know how hard it is to make a left turn? Right turn's easy.
Right, you got to cross traffic.
You just go right turn. It's easy. Going left?
Was it Zoolander?
When you drive, going left is impossible. Right turn, you just go.
Because you're going against the flow.
Yes, exactly.
Look at us. We just came with a campaign. I just feel like whoever it is that has this rule of like, this is the left's values and policies.
Yeah.
And if you speak out about it, like if you question the Ukraine war, you're a Putin sympathizer.
Yeah.
If you question trans sports, you're a bigot.
If
you question
everything is racist.
If you hunt, you're racist.
Everything.
If you go to the gym, you're a white supremacist.
Everything is racist.
Yeah.
So our mom, D&I's mom, I'm curious because
we have the same mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
So you're not brothers by another mother, right?
Yes, exactly.
But she told us that her friends in Wisconsin and Michigan, all the advertisements were anti-trans. Was that in Ohio?
Anti what?
Anti-trans.
Yeah.
No, meaning like they're just...
That was a layup because no one agrees with it.
Well, they just made it so easy when like...
No, but that honestly was I think that was the thing.
It was easy because
I agree. I'm saying the Democrats made it easy when they went so far as like, no, like dudes can beat up girls in boxing, like just like wild stuff.
And you know what's funny about the whole thing? It's not funny, but it's 1,000 people in America
that are passionate about it, or that are that.
No, it's more than that.
No, but are you talking about trans like athletes?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's less than
to honest point, it's
people.
probably less than that. It's
like probably 500 people.
And I want to be very careful that I mean, even though we're entering Avengers America, I think to your point, I think it's probably less than 1,000 that are men who have transitioned to women who want to compete
in sports,
right?
In women's sports,
and we have 400 million people.
Yeah, but why?
And that became the topic that actually got Republicans jazzed up. Yeah, that we need to.
I don't even think it got Republicans. I think it got the average person
or whatever.
The voting.
Think about it like this: if you have a 8-year-old girl's daughter, do you care? And it's proven because who won? They voted more about that topic or in sports. Like, I don't want a male in my locker room versus abortion. They chose. That's what they chose.
I understand, but my point is it affected such a small.
I know, but that's
population of the country.
I'm telling you,
and it's so stupid.
Here's my honest opinion.
But they died on that hill. Like, why not? Can't you read the room?
They can't.
And be like, yo, we have with women's rights, we have such a home run. That showed in the midterms.
Yeah.
And how do you not take the temperature?
I could see a world, because the one thing with the Democrats, because they don't have a Donald Trump obviously burned the Republican Party to the ground, right? Like he's just like a renegade that just came in and said, we don't care about your values. We don't care about anything. I'm going to do whatever I want.
Right.
Democrats don't have that. They still have like their core kind of.
What happened to Obama? Like, for instance, I believe that let's just say JD is, or whatever happens, I believe that for the next handful of years, Trump is going to be a very big voice in the Republican Party.
Oh, yeah.
What happened to Obama?
He drank the Kool-Aid and unfortunately forgot that like the party is not bigger than the issues of the people.
He had a couple speeches early on, like 6 years ago, where he said, like, yo, the cancelization stuff is getting a little crazy. Like, you gotta let people.
They just thought their polling showed them that they were.
But what was their polling? Instagram comments?
Yes, they're looking at celebrities,
right?
Whatever, and like
Cardi B and Lizzo are your polling.
Yeah, and I think that they have no pulse of America at all.
Well, I think that's part of the problem too. When they got celebrities involved, middle America. I mean, I like to watch movies and I like to listen to singers. Their political stand means nothing to me.
Yeah.
Because I like, actually one of my favorite bands is a Russian band, Leonid and Friends. So, which makes me a sort of communist because I like to listen to them. But
you're a Putin guy.
You know, Whoopi Goldberg's a great actress. I don't care for her as a person.
Yeah.
And so if those, I think when they get the people of that high profile up, that almost pushes middle America more away from them because they're going, oh, yeah, that's really great. You know, Clooney lives in a multi-million-dollar house. I live in a $150,000 shack compared to his place. I'm not in the same country he's in, or he's not in my country, maybe is a better way to put that.
Right.
I sometimes think that does more damage than good when they have a large amount of those people saying, this is, you know, these are my people. This is who you need to vote for.
It's funny because I remember you said that like a while ago about like when political issues started really getting integrated into sports.
Right.
And you said like, I want to just watch sports. And I remember thinking like, that's kind of messed up. You know, that's kind of like we used to treat that as like
that was too.
What?
When that happened, it's when
Colin Kaepernick? Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
But I remember that criticizing that at the time was seen as racist.
Yeah.
And now I think that it's pretty like just accepted.
It's accepted.
Like Beyonce's not going to come save you.
Yeah, and I the bigger thing is it's just like, don't play the average person in America. Like, don't manipulate them. Don't try to fool them. Just give them the facts and let them make the decision that they want to make.
I think 2016 was the biggest indicator that you can't talk down to people. You can't pretend that their issues aren't important to you, and that.
But they kept doing it. Even you will do it with our friends. You're like, oh, geez, MAGA. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, like,
what was that do with? I know, but like,
you're doing it in a way that you think.
No, I empathize with the working class. So
but
that's really wrong.
You're not listening to me.
Right.
You are telling our friends that I am MAGA.
Yes.
And
you are though.
But as like a slur. As like a slur.
That's why you're gonna fucking lose for the next 12 years. You're gonna fucking. That's why I know 100% JD Vance is gonna win, because you think you're putting me down by telling everyone I'm MAGA.
I don't think I'm putting down. I just want you to express yourself.
No, I voted for RFK.
But I think Anand and the rest of the group will learn, like in the next 4 years.
Asses fucking kicked. Every law is going to get fucking changed.
But I think they'll get off that. They'll be like, okay, we got to change.
Someone smarter, because like you telling. By the way, like I watched 17 football games today. Everyone was doing the Trump dance. So America has chosen.
Right.
Well, and what has to happen? I honestly think. The MAGA or whatever stuff can go around back and forth between Republican, Democrat, individual, brother, and whatever until the day after the election's over. And then we got to be American.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we have to say, okay, the guy I wanted's not in, or the guy I wanted is in, whatever the case may be. And our political leaders, and we need to set that example, go, okay, it's not exactly how I wanted it, and who can say it was.
Right.
But it's time to pull together and make the best of what we got.
I agree.
And until that happens, I mean, we can take a couple days and have a party or have a, feel bad or whatever.
Right.
But we got to get beyond that and be Americans again.
Look at that. Andy Pfaff for president.
Andy Pfaff. Let's go. No, but my point.
Do the dance. Young man. Young man.
Okay. So I had a really weird dream to that effect, and I'll let you. I dreamt that something happened a year or so down the road, and Trump was unable to continue to be president. So J.D. Vance became the president, and he nominated his name. Who was the vice president running for Kamala with her?
Tim Walz?
Oh, yeah, Tim Walz.
He nominated Tim Walz to be his vice president.
Oh, my God.
And
everyone came together.
And he said, if you want to make it work, if we want to come together, this is how it's going to happen.
Let me tell you, that's a nightmare.
You have very peaceful. You have very peaceful dreams.
That guy's not getting.
You have dreams about world peace and the.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm an optimist.
USA, USA,
fight.
USA.
Hey, I'm a Pat Mack guy, so I'm big USA.
The other quick things on the fight.
Okay.
The things I noticed were obviously
the UFC fight.
A lot of Patriots there.
A lot of Patriots.
Great Patriots.
Yep.
Great Americans.
Yep.
Second was Trump took a sip of Prime,
Oh, I didn't see that.
which went crazy viral.
Like as a promo moment.
No, I don't think it's.
Oh, he just happened to be drinking it.
Prime.
Okay. Apparently, he drinks anything but water and alcohol.
Anything but water and alcohol.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That could be a hot brand for Trump. Anything but water.
Anything but water. Yeah. ABW. Yeah.
So I saw him drink Prime,
Okay.
and obviously like every kid, all they want to do is drink Prime.
Yes. Yes.
And I was telling our oldest, because he was like, I want Prime, I want Gatorade, I want this, and we don't give him anything. He gets water.
Right.
And then someone at the soccer game the other day was like, oh, we're giving everyone Prime or Gatorade or one of those. And I was like, but blue Gatorade or whatever.
Right.
And I was like, fuck. And so finally today I was like, you know what? The president of the United States drinks Prime. And he was like, really?
So you let him have some?
What?
You let him have some or
No,
not?
I didn't, we didn't. But like, I just didn't want to lie to him that like people don't drink Prime. People drink Prime.
Right. That's
But
fair.
how
At least
does
you're
he
being
even know
honest.
Prime?
So he went to
School, probably.
yeah, everyone at school has a Prime water bottle. Like having a Prime water bottle is like very cool.
Like a Stanley?
For boys, it's the boys Stanley.
Yeah.
It's pretty
So-
crazy how much influence you lose control of
Yeah.
at school.
Yeah. You have no idea what's happening. So he was they all know Prime. Like my 4-year-old knows Prime. He's like, I want Prime. He's never had Prime. He doesn't know what Prime is. He doesn't know what Gatorade is. He doesn't know anything, but he knows that Prime is cool.
Right. That's wild.
Yes. They know that Nike is cool. Like,
The Pauls,
yeah.
Prime, and the biggest fight of all time.
And I'm sure the Feastables, right?
I don't know if
it's
those
just
are
Prime.
out yet. Or like
What's
big, yeah.
Feastables?
Mr. Beast.
It's their Lunchables.
Yeah, they're not.
Okay,
No kids on
soon.
Mr. Beast.
But here's my question. Any more, like, Dad, I have another question. Just while we have,
Yeah.
like, one thing that we talked about on last week's episode and feel is, not with everyone, obviously, but there does seem to be this feeling that good times could be on the way.
Optimism.
Yeah.
Optimism. Stock market, taxes. Maybe some of the people in Ohio feel like now they have a government that will pay attention to them. Like, do you feel a sense of optimism in like when you're out and about or not
Yeah,
really?
I think so. Once again, depends on who you're around. If you're around diehard Democrats, not so much. But I think people in general, I just think there's going to be change, and they're optimistic in that. Not even knowing what that change is going to reveal itself as.
Right.
But they're just optimistic in the fact that change is coming, and hopefully it's going to be good change, and it's going to be something that I'm going to be able to benefit from.
Right.
So in Ohio, I'm actually very curious because in California, it's very different. How split is it really? Like, is it actually as divided?
Democratic, Republican?
Yeah.
I would say Ohio's I mean, once again, I'm in one little area of Ohio, but I would say that it's probably 80% Republican, 20% Democrat would be my guess. I'm sure there's numbers out there you could check to find out how accurate that is, but
You're right. So it's pretty overwhelmingly like they know who they're going to vote for.
Yeah.
Regardless of who the
and
candidate
it's
is.
very clear. I mean, to me, of all the people that I talked to, there wasn't a whole lot of indecision, like they were going after the undecided voter. To me, there weren't
Undecided is bullshit.
It probably is. So it
Yeah.
certainly was, at least in Ohio, because I mean, I can name you the people who were definitely voting Democrat, and I can name you the people that were definitely voting Republican.
Yeah.
And
And the rest weren't voting, I think.
There are counties though in Ohio because like you see the what makes them liberal.
Colleges. Ohio State.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, I didn't really look at the county count, how it panned out, but I'm sure that's probably
Race in college.
It's got to be colleges.
Yeah,
It's race in college is the only reason why.
Columbus has to be Democrat.
I would think so. But
Columbus?
I don't know because of Ohio State.
Cleveland.
I don't know about Cleveland so much.
Cleveland is Detroit.
You're probably closer to that than what you realize.
Right. Columbus is like leaning Austin, Texas. Like it's going that way.
I'm actually curious in Ohio because I know it's a red state.
Yeah.
What people would lean on the liberal side? Like what's making them be liberal?
I think it's race and I think if you're young, and then I would say there's a couple social views that.
Yeah.
I think like if I was in the middle of the country, so I talked to someone in the middle of the country that I thought for sure was 100% Republican.
Mm-hmm.
And he's an older white guy. And I was like, well, who are you voting for? We were at dinner. He's like, I can't vote for Trump. And it was more of like a character issue.
Mm-hmm.
Where he just couldn't because of like who he is as a person.
Right.
And that was it. He was like an honest, hardworking person. And the character was the one issue for him. It actually wasn't any of the policies. Like, I think if it was policies, he'd probably just vote Trump. And it was a character issue.
If Trump was more a J.D. Vance style type of individual, I think the win would have been much more massive than what it was.
Yeah.
And I think there are a lot of people who didn't vote for him that would have, to clarify that issue, just because of who he is, not what he gets done or what he doesn't get done or what he stands for. Yeah.
You know what's funny is it is the blue counties in Ohio are Cleveland, Columbus, Cincinnati, and Summit County.
Akron?
Yeah.
Summit County went blue, huh?
According to this, light blue.
Wow.
But it is literally
Very
all
light.
red.
Very light.
And it's Cleveland, Summit County where we live, Columbus, Cincinnati.
I mean, Ohio looks red as shit.
It's all red. It looks like a heart.
And if Summit County went blue by the Trump signs that I saw, there must have been a bazillion of them in every other county in Ohio
right.
because I saw tons of them everywhere I went.
So being in Ohio, what do you think resonated the most? I think we have suspicions because we're obviously in a bubble.
Sure. Well,
so we don't understand. I'm actually very curious. What is like, hey, this is the guy.
I know 100%. But I'd love to hear what you have to say.
Stop talking.
Because we just had this almost exact conversation.
Yeah, I know. We just did this. I know.
Is this not being heard?
What's that?
Is it the general feeling, like you said before, of not being heard?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it wasn't like illegal immigrants, trans.
Well, border was a big deal.
Is there any illegal immigrants in?
I'm sure that that's a possibility.
But I'm saying it doesn't cross your path. There's no.
What about cats?
No. Well, there used to be, but
yeah, they're gone.
Yeah.
This is the problem. He's a fucking conspiracy.
Eating the dogs, eating the cats.
I mean, I'll tell you, we have some family right by there, and
the cat's gone.
They had 3 cats. They believed it. I mean,
This is why I asked the question.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So Deacon, shut the fuck up.
Okay, go ask it again. He's just going to dance. He's going to dance for the
He's
rest
doing
of
the John Jones.
No. It's the Donald Trump.
No, I'm just curious. Like, what resonates with them?
Like I said, I just think they felt a disconnect. They weren't happy with the way things were. And like I mentioned before, that they got through the previous 4 years with Trump. They didn't seem to be any worse off without it. And they felt they were worse off since Biden took presidency. And that the government wasn't there for them. They had their own agenda, not the people's agenda. And they hope to get back to a people's agenda.
So if you look at kind of the economic data, inflation's going to be rampant. The 10 years.
Not very optimistic on it.
10 years jumped from like 3.5% to 4.5% in 4 months. So that indicates inflation is going to keep going.
Right.
Do you think anyone cares? Now they'll just make an excuse why inflation's there because Trump's in office?
Well, Biden caused inflation. Build Back Better. He shouldn't have done that deal.
No, I mean, Trump did too. And but now he's the president. Inflation's going to be rampant.
100% is going to be rampant. The one difference is they're all hyper aware of it and they're going to do something about it. So like,
what are they going to do?
Cutting government spending.
That's all bullshit.
Okay,
dude.
let me tell you what's going to happen with government spending, just to keep it real. Millions of people are going to lose their job. That's what's going to happen. If you want to make the government efficient, millions of people lose their job. Sadly, millions of people losing their job is good for inflation. That's the reality.
I don't think so. I don't think if the 10 years at
you can disagree with me. I'm just telling you.
But I also just want to add a different perspective is I think that the problem isn't like just inflation. Like I think it was.
No, but that's what everyone ran on.
I know, but I think that
that's what D said. Inflation.
I think what my dad
I just ordered a pizza. It was $30. That's too much.
I think what my dad is.
I don't want to pay $30 for a pizza.
True.
Do you want to pay $30 for a pizza?
I'd prefer not to.
Anyone listening to this podcast wants to pay $30 for a cheese pizza.
Right. But here's
only if it tastes like a $30 pizza.
There's no such thing.
That's true.
I want to pay $20.
But my point is inflation's going to be rampant.
Right.
The 10-year is literally indicating that.
But let me just add my
on a Trump presidency.
Yes. Let me just add my perspective.
Your heroes.
No, but your guy's in presidency right now.
No, but everyone's betting on him.
I know, but here's
because of Biden's policies. We don't know Trump's policies yet.
But guys, you're also too like. But here's the other thing: is you guys are debating over something that we don't know yet. It seems likely, but we don't know yet. I think that what my dad is communicating is that when you feel like there's all these wars, no one's talking to me, but they're talking about trans issues, they're spending money overseas, there's all of these illegal immigrants coming across, and my eggs are double the cost. I think that's the point. I think if you told that, and I think that in the campaign of the Democrats, they didn't address
the most basic
any
things.
of it.
So I
think
I
even
don't
with
think
Trump,
the campaign was run well.
I know, but I'm saying even
telling
with
you
Trump,
the facts.
I know, even with Trump, if you said to the average American, look, we're going to worry about the war. We're going to worry about blah, blah, blah. We're going to worry about these things that you care about, but there will be inflation. I think they would have taken that bet over feeling like, well, there's inflation anyway, and no one's talking to me. I think that's the thing.
You have to accept that there is inflation and that you're
now
going to address
you can
it.
accept it because Trump's in office.
No, I think it's
this
more
is why
than
you
that.
guys are going to lose. JD Vance, there's going to be Indians up in this White House for the next
everything he
12
says
years.
is actually like factually false. He did a interview with I forget who. It was all over social.
It doesn't matter. He's the president. You lost. It's over. Move on.
But it's also like I'm sure
he just factually
it doesn't matter.
Right,
That's America has voted.
This is the thing about our elections. Everyone votes on hope. And then they vote on change the next time.
He called BlackRock as the biggest single family home. No, it's Blackstone. He said
nobody cares about that.
Fund rates are 1.5 to 2%.
It doesn't matter.
Nobody cares
It's
about
actually 4.5%.
Right, but voters don't care about that.
Yeah,
Well,
you're arguing the wrong thing,
right? Are you guys
sound
idiots?
crazy. You lost.
I'm kind of an idiot.
Are you guys idiots?
Kind of.
Yeah, we're idiots and we won.
You won. Yes, your guy won.
All I care about in life is winning. That's all.
Well,
I want.
here's the sad thing, though.
I'm a winner.
You've been steady with that.
Didn't
you go to a Super Bowl with 2 jerseys on of each team?
Yes.
Right.
By the way, my kids started this morning with a Chiefs jersey,
but
wore another jersey on the end of the night.
For the audience, if you don't actually understand all the dynamics of this stuff, you won't make money.
Right, but here's the problem: is I think actually this is really interesting. This is good with you sitting next to the on the couch to my dad. My dad's friends don't care about anything you just said.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck.
It means nothing to them.
Exactly elitist beliefs. That's the problem.
Right. That is right.
What's elitist?
You're talking about
They're like, black rights, black
10-year
stone, not
yield.
black rock.
Who gives a fuck
they don't
about
care
black?
You just make up anything. You're saying
no. You're not.
If it works,
You're being
just
elitist.
But listen, Anand, it's the same way.
You just lie about the Fed fund rates is 1.5%, 2%. No, it's actually 4.5%.
But listen, fine people on both sides is a lie.
Lie.
The border is safe and protected is a lie. Donald Trump wants to put Liz Cheney in a firing squad is a lie. It's like,
it's the
come
same.
on,
Well,
everyone's.
And you have to, as sad as this fact may be, all of those across America that voted for Trump, because he's such a public figure, most people knows the only truths to Trump are Trump's truths. And a lot of times they're the only truths in his head. It's not what reality is. Almost everybody knows that, and they still voted for him anyhow, which to me just tells me that the Democratic Party didn't have anything better than that to offer.
That's totally fair.
Because their whole campaign was Trump is bad.
No, it's totally fair. But you guys, as like the three of you, as like intelligent individuals, you guys just dismiss that everything's fake.
No, because I as my honest opinion is I also saw the other side lie so much, blatantly lie.
But D always says it's all about the money. That's all he says.
Right.
And everything
People
I said
are
is about the
hurting.
money.
You think this world is about the stock market. People don't.
No, but
half the
what
country is
JD
not
Vance
invested in the
said
stock
is
market.
wrong.
What?
It's factually incorrect.
No, but it's not. You're factually incorrect. Average Americans are hurting right now. You're wrong. You're looking at the data. That data is fake.
But you said it doesn't matter for inflation. You just said that 10 minutes ago. We can rewind the pod.
But Anand, let me ask you a question.
You lost.
you
Your
see-
argument is actually wrong because you lost.
actually rewind
I
the
won.
pod.
I'm sorry, guys.
But here's my
Rewind
question.
the pod 15 minutes ago. You said
gotcha.
that
Here we go
inflation
again.
doesn't
All
matter.
right.
Doesn't matter.
I should have got you that shirt.
Here's my question.
My opinion's
It doesn't
right.
Let me ask
matter.
Anand an honest question. Honest question.
All right.
As your friend, I'm not trying to set you up. At the
I
end of
just
the day,
know D's wrong.
okay, that's fair. We can operate on that.
That's my
Fact.
base.
Okay,
My base is.
but different from that. My question
UFC.
is, the results happened.
Sure.
People felt the way they felt.
Yeah.
Can't you see why they might have? The results were the results. And my dad's giving a really good example of why, at least in Ohio, it felt like those ended up being the results. Don't you see why people may have made that choice? Does that choice make sense to you with the story that you're being given of why they voted that way?
100%. I don't disagree that the data showed people that they felt disenfranchised, and I'm not disagreeing with
So
that.
to me, that's it. Like, meaning if you say like, yeah, but it's not going to get better under Trump, that's a totally valid take. We don't know.
That's my point.
That's yet to
That's
be seen.
totally fine.
I'm going to get better.
Yeah, you are. You are. But
Not the average American.
right. And you
That
might,
voted, that switched.
yes, and you might be totally right. And that's what nobody in this room can
that's what
argue
people
that.
is really silly.
Right.
It's really silly.
So if your point that you're saying right now on the pod is, hey, yeah, I see why you guys voted that way, but you're all silly because it's not actually going to get better. That's fine. That's a fine take because we don't know. We'll have to look in 4 years.
Yeah.
But we are just taking like a optimistic kind of fun, let's go Avengers route. But are you factually correct? Maybe, but we don't know. All that I'm saying is in a campaign, people don't care if you say Blackstone or BlackRock or what the fund take rate is or they just don't care. They care about much more,
but it's amazing
day-to-day
that
issues.
everyone's like parading JD Vance as a genius. He's a fucking moron.
That's
He
what
couldn't
you
even say
think.
anything.
Well, that's what you
He
think.
didn't say anything right.
But you think that.
Right, right.
That's
No,
you think.
But I think
You
undeniably
think-
JD Vance is a smart person.
Very smart. He's very smart.
I mean, he
you think he got that Indian doctor, whatever, wife
he
because he's dummy?
misrepresented multiple things in a single interview.
Okay, can I ask you a question? Do you think that Kamala is a smarter person than JD Vance?
I can't say that.
You can't
Then
say
that's fair.
that.
Then that's
that
fair.
makes you a
No, but
dummy.
that, to be honest with you,
She's not even on the same planet.
right, but to
as
be
JD
honest with you,
Vance.
I'm totally happy with that take because at least it's
You're lying to your dad.
but at least it's consistent.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you don't know. And that's my point. If you thought like Kamala, like, no, Kamala's so smart. JD's
I
an
didn't say
idiot.
that.
Would, I know.
No, he's saying if you did.
So totally fine. That's your
that was a
opinion.
hot take, drama. I like that.
But the point is, it's a popularity contest and they won it. And we'll see
I'm
in 4
saying-
years.
I know how politics work,
Right.
but everyone's parading around JD Vance. He couldn't even say three things right
I know,
in an
but
interview.
you have to understand that
BlackRock, Blackstone. This is so simple.
But you know what you sound
You
like
know-
right now? You know what you sound like is like a Michael Jordan fan that gets really mad anytime someone says LeBron is the best.
No.
Yeah, like you're just like emotional about
Message on it if you feel that way.
like you're just pissed.
Tell 'em.
Which is
No.
fine. And that's fine. It's reasonable.
I mean, you're the vice president of the United States. You don't know what the Fed funds rate is?
But our president was Joe Biden for the last
you
4
think Kamala Harris knows the Fed funds rate? She's a current vice president.
think Tim
she doesn't know
Walz-
fucking jack shit.
Tim Wall, come on. We got to be like,
She
How
knows
do
what a
I
good
know? I'm a
Chardonnay-
fucking podcast.
there's a lot of
Kamala
podcasters
Harris
that know
should
a lot
know
more than JD Vance, unfortunately.
The only thing I would recommend Kamala Harris if you told me what a good Chardonnay is. That's I would listen
you know
to.
what's funny is like when JD Vance did that, the interview came out and he said 1.5 to 2% is what BlackRock's borrowing at. And I was like, okay, I know Blackstone's the one buying.
You don't know Kamala Harris has no idea, by the way. You know, she's going to be
went on
president.
ChatGPT. I did a simple ChatGPT.
Right.
I was like, what's the Fed funds rate?
Right.
It was like 4.5 to 5%.
Look, I do got to say, like, if you did a podcast for 3 hours with Joe Rogan, you would probably make some little errors here and there.
100%.
I'm just saying, like, it's hard for me to believe. I don't know JD Vance.
This wasn't Rogan. It was just an interview.
Either way, think about all the interviews he did, and he got a couple things wrong. I'm just saying.
Couple things.
He's going to be president.
But this is all I'm saying is, like, we have to be reasonable here. Like, do you think that Peter Thiel and all these guys would be so supportive if this guy was a moron?
I don't think he's a moron.
Didn't you just say he was an idiot?
He just said he's
that different?
I think he's wrong.
You just said he was an idiot.
He is an idiot.
Okay, listen, let's settle on this.
JD Vance is an idiot. Move on.
Okay,
You're going to lose
let's settle on this. It's okay to be pissed and talk shit.
No, but
Your better angle would be, I fucking hate what they stand for,
right,
as opposed to that they're morons and they're wrong, because you're not going to win that battle. They fucking
I don't
won.
care if
they're better at.
What's the battle? Can I point out that they're wrong?
No, but that's bitterness. You
Because then
sound
we get
bitter.
into, like, everyone's
How's
wrong,
that
everyone's
bitter?
made mistakes, everyone said wrong things. I mean,
do
Obama.
a poll.
When
Do
you
the
talk
poll.
about-
Do the
so
poll on Instagram. Who's bitter, me or Anand?
All D cares about is money. Everything JD Vance said was wrong about money.
And
No,
I
but
still care about money.
Anand, you have listen, it's okay that you're really annoyed. But I'm just telling you, your judgment is a little clouded. Like, my dad just gave an example of the people that are not necessarily just worried about money. They're worried about their quality of life improving and their safety and their whatever. That is the reason they won. D is just taking a fucking victory lap, and you are really annoyed by it and by the outcome. And so we're doing all this other stuff.
Well, it is possible too that.
All right, Mr. Pfaff.
That you literally know more about money issues than JD Vance or other politicians.
But it doesn't matter.
Because that's something you're really acutely focused on, and it's served you very well in the process. So I wouldn't be terribly upset that there's something that I might know or D might know or you might know better detail on than a given question that a politician has off the cuff. That doesn't make the entire politician, Democrat or Republican, qualified or unqualified to do what his job is. He was caught at a weak moment, or there was a fact he wasn't keen on. You're not going to.
I mean, technically, you did just admit you had to ChatGPT it.
The Fed funds rate?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
And he didn't.
Who did?
JD. He didn't have
He couldn't do
ChatGPT.
it.
Right.
So, but I knew it was wrong.
I know, but I'm just saying he didn't have ChatGPT. You did.
When the actual mortgage rate is 7%, it was so clear to me that it wasn't 1.5.
But you still ChatGPT.
I know. But
Yeah,
listen,
yeah.
Anand, like, you're just pissed, which is fine. But you're nitpicking. And
Just
you
take
know
the
that
L
if you
and move
nitpick
on.
the last 4 years or you nitpick Kamala's campaign, we could do the same thing. We could do this over and over. Get with the Avengers. How much money have you made since the election? Just
By the way,
tell
everything is fucking booming because of the Avengers.
Tell the podcast.
All right, let's move on. I'm done with politics because I want to talk about the one reason why this podcast started was 8 years ago.
Complex.
8 years ago,
Con.
2016.
That is true. We always have to show love because it's right. It's the reason
It's
why we
literally
started.
the reason. It's not politics, not entertainment. It's nothing. It was John and I had a very acute understanding of popular culture because of what we did. And we were like, attended Complexcon.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, we should talk about Complexcon.
Right.
And at that moment, Complexcon was kind of like a subculture thing. And we did an episode and I don't know, maybe 50 people listen.
At best. Yeah.
At best,
Yeah.
50, right?
Yeah.
And that started group chat.
Yep.
Here we are, 8 years later.
Crazy.
I attended Complexcon in Las Vegas.
Yep. This weekend,
And as
right?
soon as I walked in, I saw Aaron Levant,
Yep.
who started Complexcon, Agenda, and many other things, incredibly successful entrepreneur. I saw Neil Wright,
Yep.
Who runs Complexcon and amongst a lot of other things. And it was a full circle moment because while I walked around Complexcon on Saturday, which was in Las Vegas, it was also called CactusCon because it was a partnership with Travis Scott. I saw basically my adult life has been in fashion, predominantly streetwear. From 2002 to today, which is 2024, 22 years, I have been in the mud of streetwear.
Right.
Good times, bad times.
Yep.
And I saw everyone that I ever interacted with at every Complexcon, and I really got to see everyone on Saturday. So I have a lot of hot takes from Complexcon. One, unbelievable, best time ever.
Really?
It was incredible.
The energy, the crowd, the everything?
Yeah, it was so well done.
Yep.
It was someone said it was over 100,000 people.
Wow.
Which was insane.
Yeah.
Where was it?
Las Vegas Convention Center.
The South Hall?
West Hall, which is the new hall they just built. And it was, if you're in fashion in 2002, the Magic South Hall was like a very important time in fashion, and specifically streetwear, urban wear. It was very energetic, and this reflected that because I talked to Aaron. He was like, doesn't this feel like South Hall in the early 90s, late 90s? And I was like, yeah, it's exactly like that. Incredible energy. And they had, for the first time in a long time, it was young, it was fun, it was just...
Because all of those things have been, and we're allowed to say, it's public information that Aaron recently took it back over.
Yeah. He started Network, which is a live streaming e-commerce company.
Right. And for a while...
he bought Complex.
Yes. And for a while, Complexcon felt... not great, not terrible, but it just didn't feel, I guess the easiest way for me to describe it is it felt like not where the action was. It felt kind of like the remnants of an older thing.
You know what's funny? The last Complexcon in Long Beach, I was walking around and I felt, and by the way, I love everyone at Complexcon. These are like family, right? Yeah. I'm gonna keep it real. I saw old dudes wasted and I just didn't like it.
Right.
I felt like it was...
Felt like Mike Tyson.
I felt like Mike Tyson fighting Jake Paul.
Right.
When I walked in to this Complexcon, and I had to wait,
it felt like Jake
in
Paul
line.
fighting
By
Mike
the way,
Tyson.
wait fucking line, which I refuse to do in life.
Right.
And I had to wait for 20 minutes to get my fucking pass.
Yep.
I was like, I saw the kids, I saw how they were dressed, and I was very excited.
Right. That's awesome.
And I was excited to be inside. So the things, one of the reasons why people listen to this podcast is very much to be culturally relevant.
Right.
So
and now politics, but yeah.
Yeah. So from a culturally relevant side,
right.
Playboy Cardi, if you're my age and you have a child, Playboy Cardi is God.
Your kids? Your kids know who?
No, I'm just saying.
If you're a 17-year-old.
Okay.
Yeah. 10-year-old.
Right.
Playboy Cardi is it.
Right. Which is really wild because I do got to admit, not to age me, but us, I would think, I couldn't tell you a Playboy Cardi song.
I have zero. I know the Kanye songs he was on, but I don't know.
name a song.
It's not like there's some crossover hit. I'm sure there is, but that.
The whole Complexcon was Playboy Cardi.
Right.
Every kid was wearing baggy pants and looking demonic.
Yep. Demonic is in.
Demonic is hot. If you're a Satan worshiper, this is your time.
Yep.
Backward basketball jerseys.
Oh, that's a Playboy Cardi thing?
Playboy Cardi. Horns on your head.
Horns.
Playboy Cardi. And by the way, it was called CactusCon, which is Travis Scott.
Yeah.
Playboy Cardi won. It's him.
Wow.
The hottest brands are... There was a brand called Opium. I went on Instagram and I go look it up. And it said, because of, bad language, we can't share. So I'm at dinner. I was like, I go to a younger guy. I'm like, what is Opium? I can't find it on Instagram. He's like, oh, that's Cardi's brand. It has 1.5 million followers.
Yeah.
And you cannot search it on Instagram. And then you have Travis, obviously. He did collaborations with a lot of the brands there.
Yeah.
HealthStar.
Yep.
Insane popular brand. I was just blown away of like the disconnect of like what Complexcon would have been like 18 months ago, 2 years ago,
right.
to what it is today.
Yeah.
People came in from all over the world.
Right.
Like I was people from South America, Asia, everywhere. Like at dinner. I was literally, I got landed at 12 o'clock on Saturday.
Right.
I had dinner at Delilah at 8 p.m. Home by 9 a.m. because of my kid's basketball thing.
Yeah.
And I saw people from all over the world.
Yeah.
They've done a phenomenal job.
Yeah. It's such a difference.
You know what's funny? So one of our friends, Vivek, he is a tech nerd, and he's invested in a manufacturing brand that was showcasing at Complexcon.
Zellerfeld.
What is it?
Zellerfeld.
So anyways, he's like not from this world.
Right.
Right. He's not from like, we've all been around streetwear. We've all been around like the cool kids and, we were adjacent to it. And he starts texting me when he's in Vegas. He goes, why does everyone look homeless?
It's funny.
Not homeless.
That's
it's
funny.
Satanic.
Why does everyone not know how to put on a basketball jersey?
He's wearing like, Hokas and like a tight t-shirt, and
It must be confusing.
His t-shirt by the way, his t-shirt was a little too tight. It
must be
I was
confusing.
embarrassed for him how tight his t-shirt was.
If you don't know what that is, it must be very confusing.
He was texting me the whole time. He's like, why does everyone look homeless? So
there was two opportunities. Neil and Aaron are good friends. They listen to the pod. Here are my opportunities that I would have done at the event.
Yep.
First one. You should have had a MAGA booth.
Okay.
And sold. So LRG was there.
Yeah.
They're still around?
Yeah.
Who they licensed to?
They're crushing it.
They must have licensed someone,
Kev
right?
D. Shout out to Kev D.
Yep.
Is he still?
Yeah, he was there. So Kev D.
way.
Yeah. Kev
Is he
D.
really?
Yeah.
They did it. They
Still
had
Kev D.
they had a crazy booth with the OG skeleton hoodie, and they did collaborations with Bobby Hundreds and Nick Diamond. They had like all the people from our era of streetwear doing their version of the skeleton hoodie.
Yeah.
They're selling for $4,700 a piece.
What?
And I was like, fuck, that's really
$4,700
a piece. And then they sold the actual hoodie for $100 or maybe a little more. And I was like, wow, that's really cool. Like paying homage to like a era of streetwear.
Right.
And then I was like very surprised of like all the different things that were happening. And one of the things that was like, you started seeing like the people from that era, like, like our world of like streetwear and whatever. And one thing that I saw, and so when I saw the MAGA, I saw a couple people wearing a MAGA hat. I was like, imagine if you did the MAGA hat, what they did with the skeleton hoodie.
Right.
Bobby Hundreds MAGA.
Right.
But he's not MAGA.
America is MAGA.
Right.
So if you're on the
MAGA.
unity,
we're all
MAGA.
now. Yes.
We're all MAGA.
As of
Bobby
a couple weeks
Hundreds
ago.
MAGA.
Yeah.
Sean Witherspoon MAGA, whatever. Like,
Imagine.
whatever. All these people, right?
Right.
You do a hat. I saw what's funny
If Bobby Hundreds went MAGA, I'd be floored.
You would be excited about America, right? So
That's what you mean.
What I thought was just the only people I saw wearing MAGA were women.
Are you kidding? Really?
I'm not joking. I only saw 3 people wearing a red MAGA hat.
She's at the West Hall of the Convention Center.
It's a brand new part of the convention center. And so I saw 3 young women wearing MAGA. That was the only, there was like 100,000 people.
Should be like pretty MAGA, right?
What?
It should be like accepted.
It shouldn't be because it's like pretty multicultural streetwear. vibes. It should not be, but it was. But I was like, I think there was an opportunity to have a MAGA booth. It would have crushed.
You could join the Avengers and be the streetwear advisor.
Yes. So, Neil, Aaron, I will help you bring that demo in.
Right. You could be on the plane.
This is, I'm going to insult a good portion of the crowd here, but.
I like that preface.
We should have had a Ozempic booth.
Oh.
The youth are fat as fuck.
No.
Not the old folks like us.
The old was actually looking good. I saw a lot of old people, like, all our friends.
Right.
And I was like, oh, you're not fat. You got gray hair, but whatever, but you're not fat.
Right.
And I saw these young kids. And I went to the food section. It's Trill Burgers, Howlin' Rays, which, look, I'm okay with you eating unhealthy.
Right.
I eat unhealthy. You can't be fat.
Well, that I'm surprised actually.
Yeah,
because I don't remember streetwear being.
Streetwear used to be skinny.
No, it's not.
From 20 years ago, it was skinny.
Yeah,
because they were poor.
Well, that's America too.
When you're poor in that high inflationary environment, and you can't afford to get fat.
Right. That's an interesting one.
I was.
Imagine Ozempic by Nick Diamond.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Right,
I literally was like,
I see.
you should do the MAGA.
Are these kids
version?
like 25, 24? How old are these kids?
They're young, and I was just like, they looked
under 30.
They looked unhealthy. Yes, I was sad for them.
If you had Playboy Cardio Ozempic, I bet.
Yeah.
You could just shoot that up.
I can tell
Playboy Cardio Ozempic, I might take it.
I can tell you 20 years ago,
cooler and skinnier.
When we were
just like wearing all black with the demon head.
Yeah, you just all of a sudden horns start growing.
When we were at Magic 20 years ago, everyone was skinny.
Yeah, not anymore.
Right.
These kids are pigs.
What are they doing?
They're
not a
eating
lot.
Fried foods all day.
Right.
Don't worry, RFK is going to clean this shit up.
It is the food. I mean, I do think
McDonald's
the longest line in all of Complexcon. Longest line. What do you think it was? Every Nike was there. NBA, Hellstar,
McDonald's.
What?
McDonald's.
They basically the equivalent. Trill Burgers.
I don't even know.
Trill Burgers. Just Bun B's, Andy Nguyen, who's our friend.
Right.
His brand. The longest line I ever saw at Complexcon was Andy's fucking Trill Burgers. I'm talking the entire width of the food section was waiting for a hamburger.
I can't believe it was that noticeable that it stuck with you.
Generally, people stick with me.
Yeah.
And I was shocked because it's such a young... So in Long Beach, it felt like an older crowd. In Vegas, it felt like a young crowd.
Right.
And I was shocked that given what these kids know, that they chose.
You know what's interesting? That
it's fair. It's an interesting take.
Because there's such a movement on wellness that I'm really shocked that these kids are doing this. And I'll tell you, like, honestly, personally, if I see drama fucking doing pull-ups with weights, I'm like, all right, fuck, I got to go work out.
That's good. I'm glad to know I'm inspiring.
Yeah.
I think it was like a...
No, I'm serious.
Yeah, but it's more of like... I think
thank
young...
You. Thank you, because when I post it, I feel a little cheesy, but I'm like, I think like, you know...
I'm always keeping it real.
Keep it real.
Young white kids are healthier than ethnic kids. It's real. The young white kids look good. They were healthy. They were skinny. It was all the other ethnic groups that were fat.
I do got to say, though, last week we talked about a clothing brand that's bigger than any clothing brand that was there, except for Nike, which is Viore.
Yeah.
And if you went to a Viore...
It's 100% white.
Well, the problem, I don't know, but I'm saying...
No, I know.
Okay.
100% of the customers of Viore are white.
If you went to a Viore convention, I think you would have a different visual.
Yeah, I think like wealthy white communities' health has become a top priority. And I think wealthy non-white communities' health is not a priority.
I almost think like, I don't know about this take, but I almost feel like it's just like most people don't pay attention to their health. But I think that with today's food, if you just don't pay attention, you get fat.
Yeah.
Like, whereas before, if you didn't pay attention, you might be a little
pudgy,
out of sorts, but like you didn't look.
Yeah.
I think it's really bad. I think, once again, Avengers unite. I think RFK's gotta.
Oh, I love it. I'm big.
Because we did talk about before the pod, and I think it's worth saying on here, it does seem like potentially the biggest problem is just the food.
Food is horrible. I had a breakfast burrito today at 11:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
But
I have not eaten since. It is 9 o'clock at night because my stomach is killing me.
Right.
But here's a challenge.
I think like when it comes to a lot of these cancers and a lot of these things, I think
100%.
The challenge with the food problem is how do you make food at scale? And
That days are over though. We can do that now.
I don't know.
We're
if
not
we can.
growing at the same population clip that we did 30 years ago.
No, but the reason why the preservatives and all that was just to feed the population.
Yeah, but we're not
So now we
growing
need
at the
to
same
recorrect.
clip.
I know, but the
we
thing
need to
that
recorrect.
you're right.
I agree.
But the part that you are missing in that take on it is these food companies have hired people to make their food more addicting and more sugar filled and more, like it's not just the preservative part. It's the extra mile that we've went to make it extra tasty, and you need more. If you get rid of that, I think it would do so much.
Yeah.
No, I 100% agree. The food supply needs to be changed, but how can we do it at scale so we don't have people that are.
I think you got to regulate like what is allowed to be put in it. Because I think look, I don't know this enough to say it as a fact, so I'm just repeating something I heard. But I heard that a lot of the big tobacco companies like either bought up a lot of the big food companies or hired the experts from there, or like they're a lot of the same people that specialize in making cigarettes so addictive now work at these food companies to make their food more addictive.
Right.
And I think that we've just it's not preservative. We just overdid it.
Yeah. Crypto is booming thanks to our people. Not your people. Because are you American?
I'm an American.
So who's your president?
President-elect Trump.
Okay.
So we're all MAGA now.
Do
you want to make America better? I just want to know.
How about
or
great?
You want to go back to the old days?
Would you like it to be great, potentially?
Any chance you want to make America great?
What about healthy?
I think I am healthy, and I think
but America
not you. Do you want other people to be healthy?
I'd love my family to be healthy.
Okay. Well, we got a guy for you.
Yeah.
Name's Robert.
He's a great guy.
Crypto's on fire.
Okay. So crypto. So there are plus sides to
MAGA. With Kamala, Bitcoin would be at 30,000.
No, I think
I should have invested in Doge. Or not invested. I didn't want to say that word. I should have put a bet.
You should have put money on Coinbase, which is pretty safe.
True too.
I mean, Doge is up
Doge is up like 400% in the last 3 months.
I texted D in a chat with this. I went to the Revolve opening.
Yep.
You didn't go, right?
I didn't.
So I went with a friend, and incredible. Congratulations to the Revolve folks. Grove, my favorite place on the planet.
Right.
Everyone came up to me saying sorry for your loss.
That's amazing. That's funny.
I wish I was traveling. I wish I was there. I'd be fucking paraded.
That's so
It's
funny.
like I got a World
It
Series
wasn't
ring.
like one person. It was multiple people.
That's
sorry
really
for your
funny.
loss.
That's funny. Well, thank you, Revolve team, and congrats. That place looks incredible. I said, young man, there's no need to feel down.
Did you see
Stay
that?
on it.
Young man.
There's no need to feel down.
There was an English soccer team that scored a goal, and they did the Trump dance.
That dance is going to be
It's a good dance.
all football season at least.
Yeah.
Okay, shout outs.
All right, let's do some shout outs. From Abhinav to Parag and True, congrats on getting married.
You mingle tuts?
What's a mingle?
That must be like an inside nickname.
Tootsie?
I feel like we might have just said something racist.
Okay. You both make such a beautiful couple, and celebrating you both over this past weekend felt like a C-list Bollywood movie.
Damn, that's a little bit of a sneak diss.
Before a B-list Telugu movie. You pungs are the template for what a couple should be like, and I fear that no couple can match energy you bring, from wedding cuts and lazy DPs to talking too many shots and you being out of pocket. Thanks for letting me be part of your special weekend. Cheers to a happy married life.
I'm sure.
Too much?
You just said something inappropriate. I don't know.
Luckily, they're my people. They're South Indians. We're good.
Right.
From Christine. Hi, Drama Dion, and shout out for my husband, Matt Axelson. It's his birthday on November 16th, and I'd love for him to be surprised as he listens to the pod. I believe he's gone back and forth, you all, in a few times on real estate related news. So if you're down to do a shout out for his business, Real Estate with Axe in San Diego, that would be super meaningful. Let him know his wife loves him and will never miss an opportunity for a shameless plug. He deserves it. What up, Matt? I know Matt very well. It's great. From Clint, want to give a shout out to myself and potentially another Kathy. I've been a listener since Short Story Long in the original group chat days with Drama and D. Shout out to myself because I created the next big pop culture comedy series. Think Entourage, think Silicon Valley, both shows I love. This next one is called Influencers. If any Kathys are in the industry and looking for the next original breakthrough show, this could be it. Maybe Brian, Hwood Media. What is Brian? Brian likes like fucking bad Netflix shows.
He likes rom-coms.
I don't know if you want to involved.
Right.
I'd love to share the Influence pilot script with any Kathys, and when Drama adds the script to his reading list, he should check out pages 21 to 23. Oh, and Rob too. Amazing.
Okay. Well, that was some shameless self-promoting there.
Yeah, that's great.
Holy shit.
And
It's like a Craigslist ad.
I'm going to tease Josh and I and Amanda and two other moms. It's epilepsy month in November. We're doing a pod tomorrow, and we'll probably release it by Tuesday, right, Josh?
Oh, amazing.
That's great.
Just to like share stories. We did it a year ago, and it was actually, it got to top 40 in business podcasts, the last top 20.
Amazing.
Nice. Okay, so do it again.
Yeah, we're doing it again.
Yeah, let's go. Okay, that's great.
All right, Mr. Pfaff, give us the wise word of an Ohioan. O-H!
I need to be a Buckeye fan.
What's funny? It's funny is like for when we're sitting in the car and all the kids are fighting, I literally just yell OH and both the kids go, I
No, that's too funny.
Yes.
That's
Remind
too
me
funny.
why they know that.
Because I said I just told them, like, we watch so much college football. We watch like ours.
My mom said Dom's writing notes.
Yeah, he writes notes.
Like about what?
I don't know.
College football, like every team, what's going on.
Oh, like game notes.
Alexa has an amazing thing. Please depart us with some wise words.
Oh, wow. Well, just keep the faith, you know. For some people, a lot of people are happy. For other people, not so much. But, you know, just...
You could have just said for D's, his happy, for on and not.
Yeah. Well, and that just shows you people of the same family can have two totally different views on how things are.
Right.
But we're all family. And we got to remember that above everything else. So for the winners, congratulations. For the losers, you know, hang in there. It may turn back your way again, but keep the faith, keep the family. That's all I can tell you.
And keep your Bitcoin.
And I'm just going to leave with one thing. I'm going to say, young man.
Young man, there's no need to feel down. I say, young man, pick yourself off the ground.
You don't need to.
Please get that on TikTok, Josh. Get that on TikTok.
Young man.